and share my screen with the information that we have for you today. All right. Can everyone see my large slides here? Yes. Okay, great. All right, so hi everyone, and welcome, welcome on behalf of the College of Graduate Studies. Welcome to BSU as a grad student. I'm assuming many of you may have also gone to BSU as an undergrad student. It's quite a different experience, but a very exciting one. And we in the College of Graduate Studies are here for you from start to finish, and we're so excited to welcome you. This is a huge deal for you, for your families, for your career goals, and we really hope to get you to where you want to be at the end of your program and throughout the whole process as well. We have lots of useful information for you this evening, lots of folks that want to say hello from our department. That want to welcome you. We also have the opportunity for you to connect with each other if you're in the same program with some folks or even students that are outside of your program. So we will do that virtually via breakout rooms in a little bit. So we're just so excited to finally meet with you online. We look forward to seeing you here on campus in person. So we do have an opportunity here for you, like I said, to meet some folks in our office. The first person I'd like for you to hear from is our interim dean, Dr. Denez Leuenberger, to say hello on behalf of the College of Graduate Studies. So Dr. Leuenberger, can you come on and say hi?
Of course. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to welcome you to BSU, and I want to congratulate you because you're taking a very big step, as Ali pointed out, in both your careers and in your personal life too. I think there's a lot of personal development that happens in our graduate programs. I know that that was my experience, and I'm sure it will be yours too. One of the things, I really have a short message for you, but I think it's an important one. What we want you to know is that we're here to help you succeed. And we're going to meet you where you are and be with you along this path as you work towards your goals in both career and in your personal lives, and it's, really to build a future. If you know BSU well, or if you're just getting to know us, you may have heard that we're very committed to the success of our students, and we really care about the impact that our students make on our larger community, both in the region and across the state, and really even across the world. A lot of our students stay within the area. So one of the benefits of having been here for about 20, almost 20 years, is that I see the many successes of our graduate students across the state and across the world. One of the things that I want to encourage you to do is to work with the department that you're in, but also with other professionals to really understand and communicate the path that you have for yourself. Really try to define where you think you want to go, and of course, it's going to change along the way. But what that will help us do is to really support you in the ways that you'd like to be supported and to help you achieve your dreams, because that's really what our dream is for you to make it and to be who you want to be and be where you want to be. One of the huge benefits, I was just actually at a meeting this morning with a lot of elected officials and a lot of community leaders, and one of the things that they said about BSU students is that they are the hardest working, the most committed, and they really make a difference in their communities. I think that if you have been selected to be one of our students, there's a very large likelihood that those are characteristics that you possess. So, what I want to say to you is welcome, and we're so grateful that you're here. My office is open, and I think every other person that's going to talk to you today is going to say their doors are also open to you if you have any type of questions or if there's any way that we can help you. And I can't wait to see every success that you have and to celebrate with you as you graduate. Thank you for choosing BSU, and we're really so happy to be a part of your family.
Thank you so much, Dr. Leuenberger. That was wonderful. We really do consider this a community that we build every day, and we hope that you feel that way coming right in from the start here. So I am going to go ahead and go to the next slide. So I want to introduce you to a couple other folks in the College of Graduate Studies staff. So you heard from Dinez Lunenberger. Her assistant is Ronaldo Fonts, administrative assistant to the dean. We also have Dr. Haynes, who you hear from just in just a moment, and then Cindy Gullickson, the administrative assistant to Dr. Haynes. So Dr. Haynes, do you want to come and say hello to everyone?
Sure, of course. I'm right here. I actually wish I were in person where I could really see your beaming faces. But there'll be other opportunities for that. Where I have little to add to the warm wishes from Dr. Leuenberger and Allie. We are so glad you're here. We love working here at Bridgewater State University. I've had the honor of working with Dinez for nearly 20 years. I mean, it seems impossible. She's not old enough to have worked that long, but I am. And so we're just really pleased to see this new incoming class. And I'll be talking with you more a little bit later.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Haynes. All right, and in our office here, the Office of Graduate Student Services, we're located in the Maxwell Library, Office 021. My office is located here, as well as Lauren Lamoth, who's our other assistant director. If you want to say hi, Lauren.
Hello, I'm Lauren Lamoth, and I am, like Allie said, the other assistant director over here in Maxwell Library.
Thank you. And we also have Cassie Birch, who's our administrative assistant. Cassie, if you want to come on and say hello.
Hi, everyone. My name is Cassie Birch. I'm the admin for Graduate Student Services. You guys, most of you should recognize my name. You're going to be receiving the bulk of the email communications from our department from me.
Awesome. Thank you, Cassie. All right. So again, we're so excited to share all the information that we hope will help you be successful during this presentation. It will be recorded. It's being recorded right now. It will be sent to you with this PowerPoint as well, probably by the end of this week. We also have some polls every little bit here in the PowerPoint to make sure that the most important information stays fresh. So if you have any questions at all, please feel free to put them in the chat. Cassie is monitoring that as we go along. So I want to just give a quick roadmap to success of what you're going to be listening to this afternoon. We'll talk about advising, funding opportunities, graduate academic policies, academic integrity, and then resources for our graduate students. So now I'm going to pass it back to Dr. Haynes to give some tips on how to be successful as a graduate student here at BSU.
Great, thank you. This is a big change. What hasn't changed if you were an undergraduate here at Bridgewater State is our commitment to your success. However, graduate school is different, and it's both more fun and interesting, in my personal opinion, shared by many, I think. And you have a different kind of relationship with your professors. There's not so much of the sage on the stage, and rather you have a chance to get to know them as people, in part because the classes are small. So the good news is about that is that you have a chance to meet your classmates and network with them and expand your sphere of influence. Some say the bad news is there's no place to hide. So in a small class, it's evident if folks have not adequately prepared for class. And you will find another thing that may be different about graduate school, and that is that uh, you people are choosing to be there, oftentimes away from family, away from jobs, maybe care of parents, certainly care of children. They're choosing to be there. So they expect much more out of their instructors, and I think their fellow classmates, that they be there and they be present and engaged, and you will find that that happens. And we're looking to each and every one of you to contribute to the vitality in the classroom by being prepared and participating. and learning from your fellow classmates as well as the instructor. So you'll be taking new classes, learning new skills. You're also going to have even more challenges managing family, money, and work commitments, and occasionally trying to get some sleep and managing your time and studying. We want to, I'm sure that Allie will talk about this a little more later, but we do offer a couple of free 1-credit courses that will assist anyone in succeeding in the graduate student experience. But added to this, and I always forget to ask Ellie to add this to the slide, is how very important it is for you to take care of yourselves. That means to obviously to eat well, to exercise, to take some time every day to just have a moment with yourself, to be present and think about this great opportunity that you have here. The balancing that isn't easy, but we're certainly here to assist you in doing that. We want you to achieve your goals. And as Dr. Leuenberger said, both your educational goals, your career goals, as well as personal goals that you may have. So we're all here to support you in that. Next slide, please. Great. Okay, one of the greatest keys to success for you is meeting regularly with your advisor. That person is someone who will help guide you, help you learn how to use InfoBear, and acquaint you with DegreeWorks, which you're going to hear more about here in later on in this orientation session. Talk with your advisor about what it is that you're wanting to achieve. So perhaps unlike undergraduate school, they're not just advising you on courses to take, but talking with you about pathways to achieve what it is that you want to achieve. Two other great resources for you are your graduate chairs and your individual instructors. Be sure, if you don't have it now, to get the name of your advisor and be in touch with that person. They're your buddy through this process. If your advisor isn't working out for you, then there are ways to change, but give your advisor a chance to do right by you. And I think two other keys are, number one, read your syllabus for your courses extremely well, very carefully, keep referring back to it, and be sure to schedule in due dates for assignments, and maybe even back it up to when you want to start working on that assignment. That will help you a lot with time management and keep those obligations present for you. The other thing is that many of the questions you may have about just processes, how do I do this, do that, will be in the academic catalog. And so we encourage you to reference that document often as well. Okay. We'll have time to talk more about this. I'm here to answer your questions and look forward to meeting each and every one of you. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Haynes. We appreciate it. All right. So our next slide here is going to be about a topic we probably get the most questions about: graduate funding opportunities. The College of Graduate Studies, we typically host many, many graduate assistantships. There's multiple different kinds. There's a full grad assistantship, which is 20 hours per week, a 0.5 or half graduate assistantship that is 10 hours per week. We also have graduate research assistantships and graduate writing fellowships that are 10 hours per week as well. So these positions, in order to keep them, you have to keep a 3.0 GPA or higher. If those of you are on the call that have GA-ships already, you've probably heard from Cassie on how to get started, filling out your hiring paperwork, things like that. If you're still interested in a position, we have a very, very small handful for spring, but we will have many more available in the fall. So if you have any other questions for Cassie, please feel free to ask. These positions go very quickly. They're very competitive. competitive. They cover tuition and fees. You also get a biweekly stipend, complimentary parking. So they do go quickly. They get lots of applications for these different positions. So I'll ask Cassie to perhaps put in the link here. It's going to be sent to you, but we can put the link in the chat for you to check out what's available for this semester. So again, if you have any questions about these opportunities, feel free to put them in the chat. We do have scholarships for graduate students. We have over 10. Last year, we gave out around $20,000 for grad students in assistance through these scholarships. The portal does open in February 1 and ends for around March 15th to 18th. So it's open for a little over a month. You can apply to as many scholarships as you would like. You would just need your BSU email and password to access the Academic Works link here to apply for those. If you are selected, you will be notified by the Financial Aid Office in May. And again, these are for the next academic year. Something else we want to let you know about, especially if you're becoming a graduate assistant this year or this semester, is STARS. STARS is a student arts and research symposium that happens at the end of April. This year it will be April 30th to May 1, 2025. This is an opportunity to present your research either virtually or in person. I mention this because for a GA, it is required. We'll have many workshops on this and how to get you prepared and things like that. Multiple different ways to get involved. Even if you're not a GA, it's still a great way for you to practice how to present your research and get involved on campus. It's in our student union building. It's a really fun few days. So if you have any research that you would like to share with the rest of campus, this is a great way to do that. So here are some of our graduate academic policies. They are all important, of course, but the one that we do tend to want to touch on here is around registration and enrollment. So again, this one is highlighted mostly because it is very long, but there's lots of important information in there, mostly around course substitutions, repeating courses, our add drop deadlines, which we'll mention in just a minute, medical withdrawals. We know these things happen. So if you leave today knowing one thing, just reach out to us for questions. Graduate studies at bridgew.edu. We've also included the link to the academic catalog. So as Dr. Haynes had mentioned earlier, this catalog is the key to your success. It's lots of information, but if you're ever in a bind and you can't remember what the policy is, please go to this site here or call us or email us, and we're happy to clarify, because it is a good amount of information, but it's there for an important reason. The Student Financial Responsibility Agreement. So this is just something that we tend to touch on a little bit more at length, just to make sure that you are successful from the get-go. So this agreement explains the potential consequences for you as a student if you do not meet the expectations or the obligations as you are a grad student taking courses with us. Withdrawing from a class doesn't necessarily cancel out your financial obligations. So if you're having an issue with your schedule, again, classes start next Wednesday. Add drop is 1 week from the first day of classes, so January 29th. If you're having an issue in any of your first class meeting or two, please consult with your advisor, but meet that deadline in order to get a full refund for your class. If you do not meet that deadline, the refund amount goes down very quickly until the point where you don't receive a refund at all. If it's hard to tell if you have a need for an extra financial protection, you can consider purchasing our tuition insurance by the first day of classes. For those of you who just want to have that extra buffer, it's a good thing to keep in mind. So I've linked the add drop deadlines spring 2025 here for the registration office or registrar's office. Website is really useful for these sorts of deadlines. They keep it very up to date. So again, if you can remember, January 29th, last day of add drop. If you want to add any classes, drop any classes before that refund deadline. All right, so next I'm going to pass it over. Before I do that, real quick, actually, Cassie, I would like to do a quick poll. So just there's been kind of a lot of information all at once for you guys. So I just want to make sure that there's just going to be a couple questions that are going to pop on your screen. And hopefully, yes, there's going to be a chance to do that. Yes. There we go. All right. These three questions, just go ahead and take a moment, just from information we've covered so far, answer them to the best of your ability. Give folks about 30 seconds to do that. All right, so if we have, I'll have to ask Cassie if we have the majority of folks that have answered. We'll give about 10 more seconds and then we'll close the poll. All right, so Cassie, we can go ahead and close it. Thank you. So Cassie, if you might be able to come on the microphone, am I able to view the results?
Yep. So
Thank
the
you.
correct answer was Maxwell Library. Most of the participants got that correct.
Great. All right, and question 2. Last day to add drop is, did we get that right? Majority.
Question 2, the majority of students got that correct as well. The last day to add drop a course with a full refund is January 29th.
Awesome. And then question 3, Student Arts and Research Symposium and when that is.
Yep, and most of the students got that correct as well. It's the end of April.
Perfect. Okay, thank you very much. All right, so now I'm going to pull up the screen one more time for our All right, now I'm going to pass it over to Lauren Lamoth to talk about your academic journey.
Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, I am the other assistant director alongside Allie here in the Graduate Student Services office. Like Cassie said, you'll get a lot of emails from Cassie, but you'll get a lot of emails from me too as you finish your journey. So over here in Graduate Student Services, I handle a lot of things that you may have questions about: course substitutions, waivers, transfer credits, a lot of those academic policies. I handle a lot of those things, and I help you on your journey to graduation. So once you submit your graduation application, if you have any questions about that, how to submit that, or if there are outstanding requirements, we can discuss those things. And fun part of my job is that I get to help out with commencement. So I get to watch you walk the stage and get you all ready to go. So I can take the next slide. One tool that's extremely important in your journey is the degree audit. So you'll want to use that. You can use that through the student portal and InfoBear. I'm not sure if everyone's familiar with that, but you'll get familiar with that because you're in it all the time. So if you go to your student portal, you will click on InfoBear and you'll use your single sign-on login, which is usually your email address, your username, and your password. Once you log in, you'll bring up that screen that says student and you'll click on student profile. And then that number 4, where the bear is, you'll see down below it says DegreeWorks, and you would want to click on DegreeWorks. Next slide, Allie. So DegreeWorks is the tool that your advisor will use and that we here in the College Graduate Studies use to track your degree completion. Next slide. So this is just an example of what your degree audit would look like. This particular student is a Master of Science student in biology, and it will show what has been completed to date, what you're currently enrolled in, and what is still outstanding. What is not shown on this degree audit is that now at the top of the screen, it'll show a graduation application as a requirement as well, which is a nice addition so that when you come to time to apply for graduation. It's a nice reminder if you haven't submitted one that you need to submit it. It's super important to submit your graduation application. That's how we know that you are complete, and that's how your degree gets conferred and how you get invited to commencement. So again, if you have questions about this tool, how to use it, you can always reach out to me or your advisor, and they'll be able to walk you through it. Next slide. So frequently asked questions. The minimum GPA to stay in the program and graduate is a 3.0. Once you dip below a 3.0, you'd be considered on probation. So it's always important to stay above the 3.0. When you receive an incomplete, the work must be completed by the last day of the following academic semester. So if you received an incomplete this spring, you would have until December 2025 to complete that before it changes to an F. So you want to make sure you keep track of that because it will automatically change to an F at the end of that semester, and it's hard to get those changed. Next slide. How long to complete my studies? So you typically have up to 6 years to complete your program. If something happened and you took a break, maternity, life gets in the way and you needed to come back and some courses are outside that 6 years, you can petition to have them reviewed and potentially accepted, but that's not guaranteed. So it's important to try and complete all of your courses, all of your program studies within those 6 years. And then can you take a leave from your studies? Of course you can. But once you've missed 3 consecutive terms, so fall, spring, summer, if you've missed 3 right in a row, you would just have to submit a reinstatement application through admissions, which is a very simple process, but it just gets you back up and running, your email working and all of that gets you back up and running. But if you just miss 1 semester and you want to register, you'll have no problem doing so. It's after 3, you'll need to reinstate. And now it's to Associate Dean Haynes for academic integrity.
Okay, folks, this is not an easy topic, but a really important one. So I want you to pay particular attention. We run off values that we hold dear of honesty, trust, fairness, respect, responsibility are right at the core of what we do every day. And they are also at the core of what we want to help develop in you and to keep our eyes out for situations where someone's going astray. Next slide, please. So there's a formal definition here of academic integrity policy and academic integrity. I'm not going to read that to you. You can read that. I boil it down to this. Do not claim as your work the work that others have done. So that means that when you are writing a paper and you borrow someone else's ideas and their words, you need to cite those. Each discipline is very different as far as what sort of citation protocol they rely on, and you will be relying on your advisor and your instructor to keep you grounded in what those expectations are for your discipline. Next slide, please. There are a number of different kinds of academic dishonesty. As you can read here, I think the one that we run into most often is plagiarism, and the other is cheating. And for cheating, the best thing I can say to you is just don't do it. Don't read off other people's papers. Don't claim their papers as yours when you submit assignments, those kinds of things. Underlying all of this is the notion that the work that you claim as yours is yours, and that if you've borrowed work from others, you will cite them. Now, this gets really complicated, actually, with this whole era of academic or artificial intelligence. And here's the best advice I have for you on that. Read your syllabus very carefully. And by the way, the syllabus is a document that the professor has put together and should be very clear about what all the expectations are for you in that particular course, including speaking to whether or not they permit students to make use of artificial intelligence when they are doing a paper or an assignment. You need to look very carefully because we leave that decision to the instructor. The instructor is in charge of the classroom and the curriculum for that course, and they get to decide whether or not, or what the guardrails are around artificial intelligence for your course. If that isn't clear from your syllabus, then you need to seek clarification from your instructor. This is a new world for many of us, and so we have an obligation to be very clear with you about what the expectations are, not just for the use of artificial intelligence, but also timing and content of assignments, grading scale, all those sorts of things. So that syllabus, which also addresses academic dishonesty, and is your guideline. And you really need to put pressure on the instructor if the syllabus isn't clear to you. And please do that sooner rather than later. Okay. Now, next slide, please. I think there's one more here.
Nope, that's it.
Oh, okay. Well,
Thanks.
then I am going to say one last thing. I'm the head of the academic dishonesty sanctioning process. If you are accused of academic dishonesty of any sort, the instructor will let you know what they have reason to believe has gone awry, and you have a chance to talk about why that happened. If it is clear that there has been plagiarism, cheating, etc., the instructor will impose a sanction. You may choose to accept or not accept that. You do have the right to appeal, and that appeal goes up through the department chair and eventually makes its way over to me if it isn't resolved. Our hope is that the matter is resolved between you and the instructor, but you may end up talking with me about it, receiving a rather stern letter from me, and those aren't the circumstances under which I want to meet you. I want that to be a more joyful occasion. So I just will repeat for you, please pay attention to this whole notion of academic integrity and stay away from academic dishonesty. And this is a really important part too of your development as your character as a human being, and we take that very seriously. And I would go so far as to say I take it very personally. So if you ever have any questions about this, please let us know and get help. The library, actually, you'll probably hear more about this. The library is a great resource for how one does citations, what constitutes paraphrasing that doesn't have to be cited, etc. So thank you for your time. Please really take this to heart. It's important for us. And these are not the circumstances under which I want to meet you. So thank you. All right.
Thank you. All right. And even if you do meet Wendy, she's a wonderful person, so you'll be in great hands. But there are many other ways to meet in better
Much
circumstances
better
for sure.
ways.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure. There were a couple quick questions in the chat. I did see Cassie's quick response here. Finding your program advisor is in your DegreeWorks. That's an easier space to find it. Up at the top right-hand corner, there's a little envelope and it will list your advisor there. Happy to show any folks that if needed. And then purchasing a parking pass for if you're an online student. Whether you're an online or in-person student, we do recommend if you plan on coming to campus at any point, you will need a parking pass to park right on campus. And then a student ID to access the library and things like that. Yes, especially if you're going to be in labs and things like that. There are office, I guess should say library hours that change depending on break times and things like that. So yes, we highly, highly recommend getting an ID card and also a parking pass. I do talk about this towards the end of the presentation, so I'm more than happy to answer any other questions as we get to that point too. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing here. So we're going to switch a little bit into the resources that you have at your disposal as a grad student. But one of the most important, in my opinion, is all of you meeting each other, making that cohort and that family feel. There are still folks that I talk to in my master's program that I can't really imagine life without. So I hope that going into this program, you can have an open mind and make new coworkers, new colleagues, new friends to help you get through because it's a hard program. These are hard academic achievements that you are setting for yourself. So please, please, please use the people around you. And I would like before we do the breakout rooms real quick, that second quiz, Cassie, can we launch quiz number 2 if we get a quick moment here? So while we do that, I'm also going to discuss some of the prompts for you to talk about in your breakout room. So please go ahead in three quick questions here, just to make sure this information is sticking, because I know it's a lot. All right, Cassie, we can go ahead and close that poll if you want to share the results with us if you're able to. Just want to see if folks, so obviously, if you can see this, question number 1, what GPA do you need? It is a 3.0. If you have questions about your class schedule, your academic advisor, not me, that was a trick question. What is the name of the student portal? It is InfoBear. All right, so hopefully some of this, some might seem basic to some folks, but some folks this might be new information too. Dr. Haynes, we have a quick question in the chat before we go to our breakout room. Sorry, folks, about AI, and this might be a totally separate conversation that is needed, and how the accusations of using AI may be used against students. I don't know if you have a short answer for this, or perhaps it's an ongoing thing that we're talking about all the time.
It's an ongoing thing, and we're really very much aware of the complexity of AI, and do not pretend to understand everything about it. So we're very careful with it. I mean, the evidence has to be absolutely overwhelming, and one of the things that that an instructor will look at is whether they see a radical change in your writing. Okay, if you have typically struggled in whatever way, and all of a sudden this pristine paper comes in, it's going to cause them to wonder, not necessarily accuse, but to wonder about that. So, but we're really careful with it. I have not seen wild allegations. Typically, when the student is asked about it, they actually acknowledge, that they were in a hurry and they had to. So um, it's it's a much longer conversation, but that's
It really is.
that's really my short answer to that. One of the reasons for the appeal process, and that's described again in the academic catalog, is to make sure to protect the student against judgments that were made too quickly. And so we slow it down in that way. Allie, do you have anything to add to that? It's hard to answer simply
It
because
really is.
we're still learning.
For
I was the
sure.
one that oh, sorry. I probably shouldn't jump in here.
Of course you can.
My name's Ali, so when you said Ali, I took the opportunity. But
Oh,
anyways,
I
I
get
was
that
the
a
one that
lot.
asked the question. So I'll say your answer comforted me because that was my main concern. Also, I'm a teacher of middle schoolers, so I have a similar concern there. Obviously, the graduate level is much different, but my concern was just like, are students and staff involved in the process? Does it become a conversation? And it sounds like it does. It sounds
It
like it's
does.
good to know that you don't, it's good to know that the institution doesn't claim to have all the answers and that rather we're kind of all working through this together. So
Yeah.
that's great. Okay.
You summed it up much better than I said it in the first place. So thank you very much.
That is a great way to say it. I think all universities across the board are having the same issue, trying to figure out how we're gonna go at this. So great question. Thank you. All right. Any other quick questions before we have you all chat with each other for a few minutes here? So anything else comes up, feel free to put it in the chat or come on the microphone. For the breakout rooms, two quick questions I'd love for folks to talk about. Again, if you would like to keep your camera on, great. If not, that's fine, whatever you're most comfortable with. I know some folks are in the middle of certain things in their life right now at this time of day, so feel free to do whatever you can. We'll only do about 5 or 6 minutes. And if you could just consider two things. Why did you apply to BSU as a grad student? And then what do you hope to do with your degree when you're done? So why did you choose BSU? And then what do you hope to do with your degree? Okay. Cassie, if we're ready to go into the breakout room, and we can answer that question when we return as well, Sam. So Cassie, hopefully this works. We can get the breakout rooms going here. And it will be by program. In this question about the asynchronous online courses, questions about AI, is that what you're referring to? Sam, I'm assuming yes, but yes, they do all, oh, just questions for you. Yes, yep, all professors do have, or most, I should say, have office hours that are described in their syllabus, or hopefully they'll talk about it in the first class meeting as well. We highly recommend using those. It's a great way to meet with professors one-on-one. Of course. All right. Cassie, are we able to do the breakout rooms at this point? Okay. All right. I'm gonna go to another. Sorry, for some reason Zoom is very different this time around, folks. Co-hosts, we're not allowed to, so poor Cassie's trying to do the job of both of us on the back end here. So I'll just go ahead and she can let me know when the breakout rooms are ready, and we'll just go to the next couple slides here. Harshita, are you with us? Maybe not. Okay. All right. We'll just go back to her. So just a couple other resources. I just am going to.
Hello.
Technology is so much fun. Hi, Harshita. You might be just coming in here. All right. So while we try to figure out our breakout rooms, Harshita, sorry to have to put you on the spot when you've just come on. We're just gonna jump into some other resources for students. And so obviously one of the biggest ones we have is our Graduate Professional Student Association. This is our GPSA club on campus. It's the only club for our graduate students. Harshita is here, I think all the way from India. I'm zooming in. Hi, Harshita, in the middle of the night. She's our president of this club. Harshita, if you want to come on and just say hello from GPSA, that would be great.
Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me. There's been a little bit of an issue with my voice and with my network,
Of course.
but I hope you can
We
see
can
me
hear
and
you.
hear me. I'm glad to be here today. As the wonderful folks of the College of Graduate Studies said, that we're so happy to have you here. And I, as the president of GPSA, am so looking forward to meeting you all and connecting with you in the wonderful events and workshops that we have planned for you. So looking forward. See you all soon.
Thank you, Harshita. Thank you. Middle of the night from India. We appreciate
Yeah.
you coming in.
We
Really.
miss
Not
you.
at all. No issues. Same here. See you soon. See you soon.
See you soon. Yes. For sure. So, as Harsha just said, GPSA is one of those clubs. We're actually getting a lot more traction these days, and we're looking to expand as their faculty staff advisor membership. So, if you're interested at all in any way, or have been in the past in clubs on campus, to get your voice heard and other grad students' voices heard, we would love to have you. Please consider joining us. I've listed the e-board here. We also have an email address to connect with us. You can also follow us on social media. Our first event for the semester is the first day of classes in the afternoon. It's a welcome hot chocolate social. It's freezing here, Hashita, so we're going to need this next week. And maybe you can bring some warm weather back with you. So Wednesday, January 22nd, 3 to 4:30 over in the Lifelong Learning Lounge, which I will explain in just a moment. And that's in Hart 118. So for folks that are familiar with campus, it's kind of on the other side of campus from us here in Maxwell. So we highly recommend being able to come to campus and work things out. We've also offered students just to walk around with one of us, and we don't do specific campus tours, but we're more than happy to just show you around. So if you're interested in something like that, please contact me. We'd be more than happy to show you the campus if you're not familiar. So the lounge, this is one of the successes of GPSA. Back in February 2023, we opened a lounge for you as a grad student. It's called the Lifelong Learning Lounge. This is in collaboration with our office and the Continuing Education Office. Again, it's in Hart 118. It's a beautiful space. It did not look like this before. It looks wonderful now. There are private cubicles, if you see on the picture on the right-hand side. They're semi-private, I should say. They don't go straight to the ceiling, but there's 2 cubicles there. There's a microwave. It's just a place for you to connect with other folks, other grad students, have lunch or dinner before class or after class. Just a nice space to study and build community too. So that's where our hot chocolate social will be. We're hoping to use the space for more events this semester too. So we hope to see you over there. So you can, if you want to, study abroad as a grad student. We actually did our first all grad travel course to Lisbon, Portugal, not this past summer, but the one before. We're going to do this course every other summer, and 2025 is the next offering. So this class will start actually June 15th. It is in the summer. You would travel to Lisbon, Portugal for about 6 or 7 days. It is a fantastic time. I got to go in 2023. It's open to all students in all programs. You would see lots of different things. It's just such a fabulous place, and you can travel before and after, whatever works best for you. But it is an interdisciplinary course, so you can use it as an elective as long as your chair approves. And all of them did last time this was offered. So we really hope that you will take advantage of this opportunity. If you would like to know more, I'd be happy to talk to you about it. The application deadline is February 14th. So once you get this PowerPoint, feel free to go to the URL link here to apply. It also requires recommendation letters and things like that. So and deposits XYZ. So I do hope if you haven't had a chance to study abroad before, you might consider this if it works for your schedule for this summer. So if there are any questions about that, again, feel free to put it in the chat. I know this is a lot of information to cover here. So another important thing that you should know, our campus is super safe, right? We are in a very safe part of Massachusetts. We were ranked one of the safest campuses in the US. But like in any campus, we just hope that you take precautions, and there are many precautions here on campus to keep that safety high in your mind. Lots and lots of experienced officers. We have Rave Guardian app in your phone that you can download. We also have the blue light emergency phones you may have seen if you've been on other campuses that has a camera. You press it and you're connected right to officers if needed. We have a very, very large campus, as you can see. So if you look at the campus map here, we are on the West Campus, you could say, Maxwell Library. It's the only library on campus. So right now we are on the bottom floor. And on the other side of campus, you can see BSU PD is up here. And a couple buildings over, that's where the lounge is as well. So it is a sprawling campus. It does take some time to get used to where things are. So again, if you are on campus first couple weeks and you're totally lost, call us, stop by. We can show you around. It's not a problem whatsoever. We want you to be successful. We want you to know where your classes are. If you make time to come to campus before classes begin, we are here. We are here. We are in our offices right now. So if you show up tomorrow and say, hey, can someone just show me where my classes are? We're more than happy to do that for you. So take advantage of the time before classes start to acclimate if you're able to. All right. So we've had a couple questions about parking and Connect Card services here too. So Cassie had put the contact information for the Connect Card office. They're, of course, the best folks to go to with these sorts of questions. For a parking decal, it's $250 annually for commuters, which is mostly all of you. If you are living on campus, it is $300, and that's for the full academic year. Commuter lots, these are the lots that you can park in. The residential lots for folks that live on campus, these are the lots you can park in with that decal. If you are a grad assistant, you do get faculty staff parking. Excuse me, that's included in your award package. Your student ID card, if you're new to BSU, if you look at the top right of this slide, that's what the ID card looks like. You would come to campus and get that. I believe they do have an online way of doing that as well. You can apply for your card online and upload a photo. So yes, you need this ID card to get into the library. If you put any meal plans or dining dollars on there, if you've purchased a meal plan, it will also be on that card. You can use it as a debit card, basically. So you could put what's called flex dollars on there. So you can use dining areas, vending machines, bookstore, Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks. So those flex dollars can be used there. Again, it's a credit. It's like a debit card. So you put existing funds onto the card, and you can use it that way if you don't want to carry around all your debit cards and credit cards on campus. If you lose your card, this is the best phone number to reach for the Parking and Connect Card office, as well as BSU PD. So for example, if you're on campus after hours and you're trying to get into a building that's closed, you would call a BSU PD and they can remotely, they'll just ask you some questions to verify your identity and then let you into buildings. Try not to lose it. It is $25 to replace the fee. If it's stolen, that's another process, but if you do lose it, there is a cost to replace it. Okay. Any questions so far here? Okay. All right, so now we're going to switch a little bit over to our academic resources available. To folks. Okay. Okay. I wasn't. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Okay. All right. I'm sorry, folks. We're just having some technical difficulties here. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen for just a moment here. Again, because I'm the host, I can't see or not the host, I can't see what's going on. Who went into breakout rooms already? Okay. So some of you did? All right.
Yeah.
I was invited to one, but it wasn't for what I think I should have been in as well,
Okay.
and no one was in it.
Okay. So did folks get to talk to each other a bit? Because I
No.
did not get,
No,
yeah.
I was the only one, and if anyone saw me laughing at the screen, it was definitely just at myself. So
Okay,
nobody think I was laughing at them.
Yeah,
okay.
we're seeing in the chat that there were a number of people who had a lonely experience
Oh
in
no, I wish
their
somebody
breakout
stopped
room.
me. I didn't know. No one said anything. Um, okay. All right. So folks missed most of the information that I was just sharing, right? Yeah. Okay. Do folks remember where we left off? I'm so sorry about this. This whole not having a co-host ability with this new Zoom is not working out for us.
I left and then I joined right back in, so I could tell you where we were. You were
Okay.
just starting, getting involved on campus.
Okay.
You transitioned into Harshita's
Didn't miss anything.
presentation, and then from there you went on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Did anybody hear anything about like the study abroad slide? Was anyone missing for that one? All right. Some people did, some people didn't. Wow. Okay. All right. So some people did, some people didn't. Okay, so we're gonna have to take a quick poll here. I'm so sorry about this, folks. I just wish someone had just like stop. Nobody said anything. So folks can either you can watch the recording if you would want afterwards, or I can go over it again. I know we're approaching 4 o'clock, so we have some time, but I can do it again or whatever folks think.
For myself, I never left because I was waiting for you to say, also, okay, now you can go into your chats.
Okay,
So I heard everything. I don't know about everybody else.
okay, okay. All right.
Yeah,
This
I
hasn't
heard
happened
everything
before.
too.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, and actually, Allie, a good suggestion was for folks if they felt that they missed something to watch the recording,
Yeah.
rather than having us repeat it.
Right. Okay, that's totally fine. Okay, but everyone is here now and we're good. All right, we'll have to fix that. I'm not sure why. There is no. Okay. All right. Let me go back to this screen here. All right, can folks see my screen about Academic Achievement Center now? Okay, and we're all here. Okay. Thank you, everybody. All right, so let's jump into a little bit about academic resources. Can everyone hear me okay? Okay. Sorry, there's a bunch of different things going on at once here. Thanks for your flexibility, everyone. This is just what happens, so we appreciate it. Okay, so Academic Achievement Center. While this is mostly an undergrad focused office, we do just want to make sure that you know about this resource on campus. This office offers, especially if you're an undergrad here, you would know academic coaching, English language services, and testing services as well. And they are located here with us in the Maxwell Library on the ground floor, right next to Starbucks. So they're a good resource to have at your disposal. As Dr. Haynes mentioned earlier, the 1-credit classes that are free to you as a grad student will be available this spring. So again, starting the first day of classes, January 22nd, sorry. The first one is GRPP 502, Maximizing the Graduate Student Experience. This is a 1-credit class. It's offered almost every semester. It is totally free, small class sizes. So this one focuses really on that adjustment into being a graduate student in grad school. And so if you have been out of school for a long time, or you are a recent undergrad and really want to know what it's like to be a grad student on campus, this is a nice class to get involved in. They're totally remote, totally online courses. Really, they're based on writing, but we do have a class for that next that I'll mention. Research, public speaking, self-care. As Dr. Haynes said, we focus a lot about that in this course. Yes, Juliana, this class is offered totally online, and it's only for the first 6 weeks of the semester. So when things really start to ramp up, the class ends. So the hope is that you use the skills that you learn in this class to finish strong. So that's GRPP 502. It's currently available on InfoBear to register. And I'll be teaching it this semester, so if you would like to join me, I'd love to have you. The other free 1-credit class is GRPP 505. It's called Mastering Graduate Writing. This is a 1-credit class, again, various semesters, totally free to you. Small class sizes. This is very, very focused on, the differences between undergrad writing and graduate writing, the skills you're going to need to be successful, writing papers, working on group projects, case studies, things like that. So again, this is the instructor, Dr. Maurice Williams. Though both of these classes are available for you to register. It is, again, for 6 weeks, so you would only have an ad drop, not the typical day of January 29th. It would be like one day after the class starts. So you have one day to decide if you want to stay in the class
Can
or
I
not.
ask a question?
Yes,
Are these classes online or are they
both
in
online.
person? They're
Yes,
online?
both online.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
And-
All through Blackboard. Yeah,
Okay. Thank you.
And Allie, they're pass, no pass, right?
that's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. So they do not affect your GPA in any way.
Okay.
The skills building classes. Any other questions about these? Okay, thank you. All right, and now I'm going to pass it back over to Dr. Haynes to talk about some other unique and really useful academic resources for you as a grad student.
Yeah, we have some groundbreaking resources for students. We have people calling us all the time asking about how we set up and how we offer our graduate fellows. We have about 9 or 10, depending upon the term, graduate writing fellows. And you'll see this list of the programs that they're affiliated with, but they are available to all students. And it's basically peer coaching. If you're struggling with an idea for a paper or just needing someone to bat ideas off of, or need some feedback, at least in general terms, not line editing, but in general terms on ways that you might be able to improve your writing, these folks are great resources. The head of the program is Dr. Karen Fine, and Karen talks with me about this. It's in the dean's office area, and she also is a wonderful resource and support to students. Dr. Fine is in the social work department, which actually started the graduate writing fellows. So these folks work 10 hours a week. They're what we refer to as a half-time graduate assistant type of position, and they're available both in person and online to assist you. So I really encourage you to avail yourself of those. If you have questions about who they are, either Cassie or Cindy Gullickson can always tell you that. And usually outside of our office here in the basement of Maxwell Library, we have the pictures and schedules of the graduate writing fellows up in a glass case so that you can take a look at that. And I think Cassie also includes their schedules in the graduate newsletter. Is that right, Cassie?
Yes, Wendy, that's right. When we send out our monthly student services newsletter, we do include the fellows' schedules and contact information. We also post that information on various web pages, on our bulletin boards in the hall. And if you have any questions about any of that, you can absolutely contact us, graduatestudies@bridgew.edu, and we'll be happy to help.
Great. And Cassie is really good at, if she doesn't know the answer, at making sure that you connect directly with someone who does. So I encourage you to get to know Cassie and make use of those resources, including Cassie herself, by the way, who's great. Okay, then on to the the graduate quantitative fellow. We have a grad student, I believe, is a math major, and has a special affinity for helping fellow students with questions about research, quantitative methods, et cetera, et cetera. Now, your first line of defense is your actual instructor, right? And the textbooks that you've been provided with. But sometimes it just really helps to have another student give you some tips and help out with that. So, and Dr. Fine is also in charge of that program. Another great, next slide, please. Thank you. Another wonderful opportunity that you have here at BSU in graduate courses is to submit articles, creative pieces, commentaries, book reviews to the graduate review. And that is a journal, a graduate journal that is published annually. This year, actually, we're going to be publishing our 10th edition. And you'll see that beautiful cover on a graduate review there. We rely on our art students to submit their own work, and we choose one to appear on the cover. So, but it isn't it is not exclusively art students who submit. We've actually had someone in the social work program submit the photograph of the quilt that he had hand stitched. And so there are all kinds of ways to be recognized in the graduate review. Another thing that's really great about this, for those of you in disciplines where people tend to do a lot of publishing or publication writing, is that you get kind of a firsthand view of what it's like to be ushered through the blind review process. And that's a great opportunity too, to get feedback on whatever you've written, and to work with a mentor on your writing in that venue as well. So please take advantage of that opportunity. We have extra copies of the graduate review here. If you'd like to come by and pick one up, Cindy Gullickson can help you with that. Okay. So I am sure, and I know that Allie will be saying this too, I'm sure you are all feeling completely full of information. Know that all of us are available to you to answer questions. Sometimes you just need a safe place to have a conversation, and we're there for you in that way as well. So back to you, Allie.
Sure. Thank you. There is a question in the chat about a website where more information can be found on the graduate review. I know that there were emails sent out, but is there a website for the graduate review, Dr. Haynes?
Not yet, but I'm going to be working with Dr. Waken on that. Also, most of our previous editions of the graduate review can be located on Virtual Commons. So you can take a look at that too. But Dr. Waken is going to be in touch with all graduate students and letting you know just kind of what the process is and what the timing is. And so that should be coming out soon.
Great. Awesome. I'm just going up to see some other things here. Sam, I see your question about going over if we'll log into our first class. We won't be doing that specifically here, but if you have any questions about Blackboard, you can always reach out if you're having any issues accessing it, which I'm assuming is where your class will meet. So just let us know if you're having any issues, or if you're using Zoom or Teams for that first class, and we can answer your questions there. Violet, do students get Zoom accounts? I think Cassie had said, while we do use Office 365 and Teams a lot more, you should have access to Zoom. and then how to get an appointment with a fellow. We are actually just about to launch a virtual way to do that, Juliana. So just keep an eye on your email, and there'll be a way very soon for you to schedule an appointment with them. In the meantime, the way to do that is to email Dr. Karen Fine, as Dr. Haynes mentioned, and she can get you in touch with the best writing fellow for your program. And even if they're not in your program, the writing fellows can serve any student in any program. So yes, there's multiple ways to get in touch with them.
Yeah. I also wanted to say, here's a number you must memorize, and that is 531-2555. That's IT support. So if you're having trouble getting on, technical issues, they are really wonderful. And I believe we're keeping the 24/7 help desk, virtual help desk available too. Right, Allie? Do you know?
I believe so. Yep.
Okay.
If it's not up yet, it should be very soon.
No, you all have probably figured this out already, but all of the campus numbers have 531 as a prefix. So if someone just gives you shorthand 4 numbers, that means it's 531, whatever, 2555 or 2017, which happens to be mine.
And I believe, Rosa, are you talking about the IT number? It's 2555. So 508-531-2555.
Additionally, everyone in the chat, I included a link to the IT student support website. Go ahead and visit that website. It includes a link to the IT service portal, additional contact information, and frequently asked questions.
Awesome. I'm wondering if we can also put a link to InfoBear in here. You'd be able to go and add that class. I believe there's a student registration tab. I can't remember exactly what it's called. I've only seen it once. If any other folks have know the exact tab there, that would be really helpful to register for the GRPP class. So it's in InfoBear under course registration. It's a student service tab where you would add the course.
And Cassie just put that link in the chat too.
Perfect. Perfect. And it should be searchable. You'll get like a 5-digit CRN number. Lots of emails are going to be coming to you with that number and that access. So in another day or two, you should be able to, if you can't find it on your own, you'll be able to find it with our email. So just keep an eye on your student email. I know folks that check it multiple times a day. I recommend doing that. I recommend adding it into your phone email inboxes so you have it easily accessible to you.
I want to underscore that the official missives from the university will come to your Bridgewater email address. So please check those early and often. Thank you.
For sure. Okay. We are also active on our social media accounts. So if you want to follow us there, like us there, I've included our email address again, thegraduatestudies@bridgew.edu. Our phone number is here as well, and our Twitter account for our graduate and commencement information too. So we try to find different avenues to get in touch without bothering you too much, but we do like to send out emails to make sure that, we are on our mind every day. We couldn't do what we do without you all. And so we are here to support in any way that we can. Yes, we will be sending this slideshow with the recording, with the PowerPoint by the end of this week. And that will come from Cassie's inbox. And you can also contact her with any questions and myself too. Dr. Haynes, we're all available and ready to help in any way. We know this is such a big commitment and we want to make it as easy and successful for you as possible to focus on your academics and meet the goals that you're starting out. So welcome. This is day one. I hope you're all kind of gearing up. I know this is a lot of information, so just try to go and relax somewhere quiet. And if you have any questions or anything, follow up, feel free to let us know. Some professors do contact, and Dr. Haynes can answer this question too. So we have been contacted via email by our professors. Most do, some don't, and just sort of expect you to be on Blackboard or wherever the class is going to be held. But they typically would, right, Dr. Haynes? Is that, I'm assuming that's hopefully common practice.
Typically, but with that caveat, not everyone. So
Yeah.
if I were, you know, a successful student will take the initiative. If you haven't heard from your professor, reach out. The professor's name will be in InfoBear on the course listing. So that's another way to go. It's not uncommon to struggle a bit with Blackboard, and your instructor will help you with that or refer you to IT.
Perfect.
The one thing we may have not mentioned to you is the importance of having fun. In that array of self-care things, please do take time to have some fun and relax. There's a question here, what if no professor is listed for the class? If there's no professor listed, please contact me and I will track it down for you.
We have, you know, a week to the classes, but that information should be known.
Yeah, it
Somewhere.
should be up there. It changes occasionally as people go out on, as faculty members go out on leave, or family issues occur. So keep an eye on InfoBear, which will list the faculty member. And again, if you run into a course that doesn't have an instructor listed, please let me know right away.
All right. Okay, thank you all. We can go ahead and stop the recording, so we should be all set with that. Yes, thank you. So yes, of course, anytime